on a mission to create a knowledge and experience sharing content platform. He received 7 international recognitions for his short films, and he believes in making the world a better place with innovative solutions. He loves to solve problems. Learning has been a constant part of his life. In today's episode, let's chat with Yash Srivastava. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, The Guiding Voice for a Better Future. I'm your host Naveen Samala, a fellow IT professional on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Folks, in every episode, we interact with industry experts or thought leaders or academicians or coaches or young entrepreneurs like Yash across the globe to drive some insightful conversations that will help each one of you learn some amazing stuff. Also, we share an interesting trivia or a fun fact towards the end, and you will acquire more knowledge per every minute by tuning into TGV than any other podcast in this space. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today we are going to discuss a topic: creating monetizable content. See, today we are living in content creator economy. In one of the previous episodes, we covered a topic which was spoken by Neeraja Ganesh and Sneha Ganesh about building content that will elevate your brand and expand your network. And there was one more episode where we covered tips around how to create compelling blogs. That was by Sumant Lohar. And in this series, we are pleased to invite another young entrepreneur who is building a platform from scratch, and that too from India. And we are pleased to have Yash part of TGV's journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Yash, I'm super thrilled to have you here and welcome to The Guiding Voice.
Same here, Naveen. Thank you so much for having me. It is a great opportunity for me as well to connect with your audience. And hey, audience, everyone, thank you for coming and listening to this podcast. Yeah, Naveen, it is. Thank you so much for such warm introduction and talking to you and listening to your podcast was a great and very experience-rich journey. And I feel really great coming on this show and sharing all insights that I have.
Likewise, I love interacting with young entrepreneurs because you guys have a lot to share with me and my audience. You guys are a kind of inspiration. You have that inner motivation which actually is leading you to build platforms where others can really get benefit out of it, and I really appreciate what you are doing. A lot about your entrepreneurial journey throughout this conversation. And to begin with, I'm going to ask you one common question which will help us set the
Yeah.
context. Okay, so yes, probably you can briefly talk about your career journey so far and what are the top 3 things that have helped you reach where you are today.
Okay, so there is nothing more in as such in my career journey. So I have done my engineering in BTech in computer science, and during that time, I was part of multiple startup, basically filmmaking startup or the content startup. From that time only, I understood what the professional world looks like. How do you talk to clients? How do you work around and stuff like that. I really worked with a lot of people at that time, including some Bollywood personalities. Did a lot of work in my college time. It is coding related, whether it is cinematography, direction, filmmaking, content, lot of things. And as soon as my college got over, there was big question: should do job or startup? It was my guilty pleasure. I started the startup. The journey has been so far really good and full of memory in terms of learning part. So whenever there was such tasks which no one can do in my team, I was the one who was appointed to do that, and that is how I learned stuff during my journey. So the constant learning thing. And second part is focus. The focus is very important. You see, if you are a person who are good in learning things and maybe implementing it, so it is very easy to get deviated from the path because you are seeing so much things happening on internet, so much thing happening around you. So maybe today you are playing the guitar, second day you would like to try for startup and stuff like that. So the focus part is very important, which I always try to build it in between. The third part, which is really important for me during such journey, is taking a small step at a time. So if you are solving, let's say if you are doing something which is bigger than your potential, so you will always feel people are moving ahead, things are happening and stuff are doing lot of those things. So it is always good to break down the things and take a small step at a time. That helps you a lot in terms of capitalizing on it and moving further. These are the 3 things that is really I always try to work upon it every day.
Excellent. And most importantly, the burning desire to make a difference. That's what I can see out of all our conversations.
That is the objective.
That's great. You know, Yash, the other day when we spoke and I was surfing through the platform, the feeding trends right? It is
Yeah.
absolutely great. You know, I was thrilled when I was trying to publish an article, and the process is seamless. It's simply amazing. I was
Thank you
trying
so
to
much.
import one of my videos and convert it into text. It was about 50-minute video and it translated into text within a minute. And I was amazed. So now share with our audience what triggered this idea of starting Feeding Trends.
Yeah, Naveen, first of all, thank you for using our platform and giving us feedback. It always helps a lot. The point is how we started this is, in my college time and all, Facebook was at such a peak and people were, using Facebook, but at the same time complaining about it, the kind of content they get. At that time, India was adopting kind of internet and content and stuff. The objective was very clear to create content platform, like India's first content platform, but at the same time, the content platform should provide meaningful or knowledgeable content. In order to solve this, what we thought was, let's go out to people who could provide this kind of content. For example, industry professors, domain expert, professional, people who have domain expertise of around 10, 15 years into their category, into their industry. So we asked them to publish the content in form of article and all. What happened is they published the content, but somehow the outreach was very limited. And when we decided to find out the challenges, then we got the idea that they may be industry expert into their own domain and field, but they have zero knowledge about the internet content writing, which is not just a simple English writing. So it requires a lot of technicalities that includes SEO, keywords, lot of technical stuff, lot of off-page things. That was the eureka moment for us. Why not create a platform where with the help of technology, we can solve all these issues for a person and people can just come on the platform and share content without any particular hindrance of technology or technicality. So this is something that triggered us to create the platform, and this is something why we created Feeding Trends, and we are on the path for that part only. For example, even if today you go on the platform, you would find multiple features, multiple things which is on the platform. We are providing you kind of topic ideas, what type of content or what kind of things you can create without feeling any kind of uncertainty. That is the keyword things. We are also providing you question explorers, like people have search engine and all, so that as a content creator or as a person who has a domain expertise into any field can find those questions and can answer that question, you could get a reach for yourself. You can also monetize your content. That helps you get the reward for the efforts that you are doing. Also the YouTube part that you mentioned. So we found out, like, more and more people are creating video content. So why not give them some kind of thing where they can just convert their YouTube video into article on the platform with single click. All this innovation are happening just to create a platform where people can share the knowledgeable content on the platform, and the readers or the consumers can consume the meaningful knowledgeable content on the platform.
Excellent. Having experienced it firsthand, I really adore the idea altogether and the kind of seamless execution that is available, right? It's truly adorable. Now, Yash, let's talk about different platforms that are existing today. And many of them have originated from Silicon Valley, right? Be it the
Yeah.
Quoras, Reddits, and then the Medium and all. And you are projecting it as an Indian platform. Of course, it is completely built from India for the world, right? For the world. And
Yeah.
how do you differentiate
Yeah.
yourself?
The very important part of this conversation is all these platforms which comes from Silicon Valley, target audience or the first audience that they have is the people who totally understand the content writing on the internet. They understand the SEO, they understand a lot of stuff around that. So these platform provides the platform to these kind of user who have some kind of expertise into content writing and stuff. But what we are trying to do, reach out to people in India or in different parts of like Lucknow city, Taito city, Taiwan city. Most of the people may be familiar with the technology, may be familiar with the internet, may be familiar with the concept of creating the ID on Facebook, vagera, vagera. But somewhere down the line, they have this problem of either to get the reach or to get the monetization capability. For example, you must be using LinkedIn, right, Naveen? So even if you go on LinkedIn, you see most of the people who are creating the content, they are creating the copied content. Okay. So in order to get the popularity, what they do is they copy someone else's content and the changes, and that is how they are trying to read. But the original creator kind of get lost in the platform or in the translation part. So what is happening on the platform on Feeding Trends is key. When as a creator you submit a content, we have a plagiarism checker, that is an automatic review at the back end. It goes and check for the plagiarism, and until unless you are that is the original content, the content won't be published on the platform. So not only with the knowledgeable part, we are also trying to incorporate all these basic idea which people generally face onto the platform. In a very simple term, you can say is we are trying to get the people who may be expert, who may have knowledge on the platform without any technical hindrance, without any understanding of technology, and sharing the content and sharing the knowledge.
That's great actually. Like plagiarism check, and somebody is able to determine okay whether it is genuine content posted by them, and that way one will be cautious as well, and they'll learn how to create original content by themselves. All right. So Yash, I heard you saying like you wanted to empower everyone to become a content creator. Can you help with our audience to understand why this is important all of a sudden? And you also say this everyone wants to become a writer, and you want to support this.
Yeah, actually, very true. So, Naveen, I feel like technology is just a tool, and content is just a way of communication. Okay, so when we talk about content on internet, it is just another way of saying where I can communicate with the rest of the world in a very simple term. Okay, because the language of internet is content. Because we are communicating with so many things. So what is happening right now is internet adoption in India is bringing so many people on internet. Each day, people are coming on internet and creating a different content like everywhere. For example, even if you post something on LinkedIn, whether it is a 2 or 3 line words, it is a content. It is something where you are communicating to the rest of the world. So this is something that is going to be future. Okay, so people would communicate with the rest of the world in one form or another, and that is why I want everyone to hop on this train, just take the experience and just reach out to the world. And what I feel is in India, every single person has some kind of information, some kind of knowledge that they can share. This content creator economy, this part where people can create content and earn, is going to increase in future, and that is why our objective and goal is to get as many as people on the platform to share their content and to earn something from it, get as rewarded, but most importantly to share it to the world. This is why I want every single person to at least try, at least come on any platform and create a content, just to get the experience, just to get how you can reach out to more and more people, how you can with your own domain expertise, how you can make others people life better. For example, let's say Naveen, you are really good host, you are doing all this stuff, so kind of you are also trying to share the knowledge of this entrepreneurship, these things, in order to solve the problem for the people who are listening your podcast. Okay, so every single content that exists on internet is trying to solve someone else's problem in a way, it is making life of other people much better. This is why I want every single person to become a content creator, or in a short writer, because it is very easy to do. In a video thing, you need to do a lot of setup. In a podcast, you need to do a lot of things. You must be facing it already. This is the part.
Excellent. I loved your statement saying that everybody is trying to solve a problem. Absolutely. See, we are trying to solve a problem through TGV in terms of providing curated guidance, because I was talking to you the other day, right? When I graduated from my engineering, I was clueless in terms of how to attend corporate interviews, and I was clueless how to go about preparation and all. Now everything is available at fingertips. Okay. And we are
Yeah.
building encyclopedia by ourselves. Wonderful. Now you are encouraging many people to be a content creators and all. Here comes a tricky question. How big is the market? Like what is the total addressable market, and why should somebody venture into it?
Presently, the total addressable market in terms of content creation, overall the digital and the content creation economy globally is around $414 billion market size. In India, it is somewhere around $44 billion, growing at 14% CAGR and stuff like that. Recent stat that has been published in year 2022, present projection of market size is around $150 billion. That can be justified with the fact that present recently YouTube published the help of YouTube, Indian creators has somewhere got around 6,000 crore. They have earned something around something similar to that point. And not only this, YouTube has also contributed $20 billion to USA GDP. Everything is so much fascinating about this industry. As more and more people are coming on internet, as it is going to grow, this industry is going to break all records. It is such a big industry. Nobody can experience it in a way. Also, not only this, to your previous question of the part where you asked for everyone to become a content creator and all, we have also launched our initiative recently. which is known as upskilling program. So what it does is like a college going student or a people who have no idea about content creation and all. So it is our initiative from Feeding Trend side to make India Atmanirbhar, because a content writing profession in India is still at very infancy state. People from US, UK are hiring content creators from India, and due to currency difference, people are earning a good amount in India, and for US people, it is happening. They are paying so little for the content creator and all. A long thing in short, we have this program, upskilling program, where you can directly go feedingtrends.com/learn. And you can register over there and do experiential learning through the platform uses and everything, so that you can understand and learn the content writing, create a profession out of it in future.
Excellent. That is extremely insightful. Now, Yash, let's talk about creating content that sells.
Yeah, Naveen. So actually, a person who wants to create a content, that's the person should know about the audience, what kind of audience that person is targeting, and what kind of content that person can create in order to solve that particular person's problem. Let's say there are very different segments of the content. For example, if I am a content creator who is into entertainment domain and all, so the content that I produce will be some kind of entertaining and all. So my objective for the audience would be to provide some kind of value in terms of they don't get bored. But when I'm creating a content which is a very informative and knowledgeable, so my objective would be to provide the content to the audience which is very easy to understand, so that anybody can understand. So as a content creator, you have to do these stuff, but at the same time, you have to understand what your audience is about. They want the entertainment content, or they want the informative content. So this is something that you have to figure it out. It is a puzzle that you will have to fit in together. Just focus around how you can get through it, and you will find it out eventually.
Excellent.
Also, let's say if you want to create a content which sells on the social platform, okay, so you have to create some kind of emotional content, because on social media, when people are using it for the free time, they for something which is very kind of emotional, where they don't have to use their brain and stuff like that. But if you want to create a content which ranks on the search engine and all, then you need to create a very informative content. So this is the only thing which you have to do, nothing else. This is what we feel. You don't have to work around any technology and technical stuff. But yeah, it is not true. You have to do a lot of stuff. But yeah, 50 to 60% works upon what is the quality of your content.
Okay, so you have done extensive research on the type of content, right? And in your opinion, what kind of content can be monetizable these days, and how do we go about monetization?
As I told you, like, the language of internet is content. Okay, what is happening right now is, since more and more people are coming and people are spending a lot more time on internet, so all form of contents are coming on internet, and any kind of content is monetizable on internet presently. So types include written type, podcast, that is audio type, and then there is video type content. So all the forms of content are monetizable. Not only this, new industries, new platforms, or new companies are coming in, where they're providing bonus things and stuff like that, where you can just have to share your content and stuff like that. So people are trying a lot of things, but mainly you decide to do anything in terms of content domain, you can make that content monetizable. Now the question is how to make it monetizable. That is the main question. So the major industry revenue model still works around, like ad-based revenue model, which YouTube is doing, Feeding Trends is doing. Second model works around subscription model, for example, which Spotify is doing, Medium is doing. So if people have subscribed to, have bought the subscription of Medium or Spotify, then the content creator earns something around it if people are doing that content. And after that, the third part of model comes around brand integration and stuff like that. Where as a content creator, you reach out to different brands, you collaborate with them, and you help them to reach maximum, or you help them to sell somewhere down the line. So you will find most of the content creator, Instagram or TikTok, of these kind of segment. And not only this, there is new domain that is emerging into the market, is the social commerce. People are spending time getting the, gathering the audience, etc., helping to sell the product of other brands, and they are kind of earning it, based on the commission or based on the affiliate thing. But long story short, everything and anything is selling on internet right now in terms of content. You just need to be a very smart person, and you just need to solve a particular problem. So it is not happening, go and just create any kind of content. It should be solving something for some kind of domain segment.
Perfect. Loving this conversation, and extremely helpful. And now let's talk about other platforms that are existing today, okay, which are helping people monetize their content, and what's their model.
Yeah, so in order to make the audience understand it better, so there are three types of platform that is existing in market. So the first part is the primitive platform that include WordPress or Blogger. So what happens is that in those kind of platform, you need to spend 80% of your time in order to technology spend something on coding, updating, and stuff like that, and 20% time only goes to content. At the same time, it becomes very difficult for you to earn from it. Then in order to solve all this problem, new age platform came into market that included Quora, Tumblr kind of platform. These platform solved all the issue or the technical issues of the WordPress, where you do not need to code stuff like that. They have the distribution of the social angle and stuff like that, but at the same time you cannot earn from it. So people have opted for the brand integration, stuff like social commerce and stuff, but at the end it is just a creating follower and stuff. Then a new age platform came into market. One of the fastest growing modern age platform into the market is Feeding Trends, where we are providing not only with the no code platform, but also with the full monetization efforts and with the tools so that you can use to optimize and maximize your reaching and monetization potential. And similarly, Medium is there, which is a modern age platform. It is providing you with the kind of content creation where you don't have to code and stuff, and then also monetize and stuff like that. So these are the primary distinction of the platform which is existing in the market right now, and where you can try to do different things.
Okay, great. So, yeah, wonderful insight so far, Yash. And now let's switch gears and talk about your entrepreneurial journey. Maybe you want to share some of the challenges you as a young entrepreneur have come across so far in building feedingtrends.com, and anything that you like to share with our audience so that they get inspired and embark on their entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so basically, I think there are two types of challenges which happens in any entrepreneur life. So the first part is which is very temporary kind of challenge which you can find on internet, go and learn around it. So for example, I started, I was facing challenges in marketing and stuff, and then I spent more time learning around it. For example, coding and stuff. So that the things that you can learn by the time that you can find on internet that you can relate with and stuff. But as soon as you grow, as soon as you reach out to some point, at like let's say you reach out from 0 to 1, what start happening is, since you have now you have to go in depth. So what happens is you won't be able to find lot of things that is happening around. So you need to be very observant in a case. For example, what is happening on the platform is users want to convey, they want something else, or you have to read, you have to understand and read between the lines. So these are the primary challenges that we regularly face most of the time to stay focused. What start happening is when you're building such a kind of platform, or let's say a product line also, right? Then what start happening when you reach out to a certain point, you start thinking, okay, we can go to this direction also, we can go to this direction also, we can go to this direction also, and then lot of messiness start happening because still you have limited amount of team member. Those are bigger challenges, bigger problems. Most of them are very psychological stuff, but I think the solution is very simple. You need to continuously take small steps, and you will reach out. It happens. You will solve that problem and challenge.
So just continue with passion and be persistent
Yeah,
and demonstrate
yeah,
perseverance.
yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Yash, this has been a fabulous conversation so far. But I would like to spice up the episode so that kick off a quick rapid fire round so that my audience get to know other side of Yash.
This is the part where I don't like much rapid fire and stuff. Okay.
No, I'm going to make it easy for you. All you have to do is just answer crisply one or two words. And in case if you don't answer them, skip them so that you'll answer next time when you join TGB.
I can just answer and I don't have to tell you why. Okay.
Yes, right. Just
Then I can say anything I want and I will say go and research.
great. All right. So, yes, let me fire the first bullet. Okay. So, with that, too much of entrepreneurial enthusiasm and spirit, right? I really wanted to understand who is the business icon that you drive inspiration from?
ARD data.
Okay, that's a secret. All right, let me move on. What is your favorite platform or technology tool?
I think Google, because Google is such a mountain, that they are doing such a great lot. I think the whole internet adoption in the world has happened only because of Google, by the free tools and by the free searches that they have provided, and how they segmented the whole content industry on through the search stream and all. So I think the very big credit goes to Google, and that is why I think Google is such a great platform. Google is such a great technology tool, and what the things that they are doing in future, I really admire what Google is doing, and there should be some Indian company who should be doing this kind of stuff. I don't know why, but it should be there. But okay, it is good what they are doing.
I'm sure there will be one Indian company coming soon because with the kind of support that startup ecosystem is getting, right? It is
Yeah.
matchless. All right, so let me move on to my next one. So, yes, here comes an interesting one. If you were to go on a date with a celebrity, who would it be?
So this is the question where I will take that part, where I will take that pass which you told us. Ki, I can answer into the next podcast.
Come on, dude, this is cheating. I think you should be able to answer it easily.
And I mean, what to do, man? Like 24 hours goes into working and all. So I don't know, man. Like,
That's why I'm asking you to go on a date. At least you can be away from worries for a day.
no, हो गया मेरा. It is more than enough. What
No worries. All right. So, what is one guiltiest pleasure that you enjoy the most?
starting the startup after college, and still I'm enjoying it. I'm still in that phase. It is going on and on and on.
Yeah, I get. All right.
Parents are still worried. Parents and society are still worried. What you are doing, but ठीक है.
No, it will be number one platform because I have that gut feel. I trust my instincts, and the moment I use your tool, I can figure out. Okay, this guy will be somewhere in future. Okay, when I say future, not more than 2 to 3 years. Yeah, definitely. Keep it up, and you will definitely go there. Moving on to the next one. What is the funniest moment in your life so far?
So there are too many, Naveen. How could one point it out? So the whole college life, engineering life is one of the funniest phase of a person's life. Doing lot of stuff, doing lot of things. But just to make it very dark humor, so falling for the one who used to like me. So
Great. All right. So excellent rapid fire. And with that, let me fire the last bullet. What is one electronic
yeah.
gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
Something that I would like to see get invented. It is very impossible kind of stuff. So somewhere down the line we can reduce the transportation time. So best case scenario is the time travel thing and stuff like that. But one thing that is happening in the ecosystem is the metaverse and all. But like we can somehow reduce the transportation time, so a lot of the thing could be solved into this global space. I think that is very impossible thing.
Many of our guests have answered the same thing. They wanted teleportation device kind of thing and all to escape this traffic and all.
Such a wastage of time. Like
I understand, but we have to enjoy those moments as well because if we
Yeah.
don't have the time we are spending in traffic, right, you'll become a robo, not more than that or not less than that. All right, so yeah, fabulous rapid fire. And with that, let me flip back to the mainstream and ask you one final question for today's conversation. So, yes, what will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers?
just be passionate about something and do what you like, and just taking continuous small steps that will potentially help you reach out to the goal and the objective that you wish to.
Excellent. That was crisp and clear. And Yash, thank you so much for being part of our show today. Really appreciate all the insights. Wish Feeding Trends loads of success. And I can envision where you guys are going to reach. Just keep continuing what you guys are doing and wish you all the very best again.
Thank you so much, Naveen, and also a pleasure to be on this Guiding Voice podcast. And thank you so much for inviting me. And I wish you all the very best, Naveen. Guiding Voice can reach out to millions of people, can lighten more and more people in this space. Thank you so much, Naveen.
Absolutely. Pleasure hosting you. And folks, before we move into the trivia section, here is a small request to all of you. In case if you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe from the app where you have tuned in so that you will be notified about future episodes. Also, if you have loved this conversation just like I did, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from the guiding voice. Your friends will learn new stuff like you and we will gain new subscribers. Thank you so much in advance. Now, let's cruise into the trivia segment of today's episode. Folks, today's trivia is about CIA, which stands for Central Intelligence Agency. We have learned from Yash about how to monetize content, and we need to be cautious and conscious about what kind of content are we generating so that it should not be misleading to the intelligence agencies. That's why we would like to bring you this fact in front of you. So the fact is, Central Intelligence Agency reads about 5 million tweets every day because this social media has rose across the world and more users are coming into the platform and they started using it for various purposes and all. And there is so much of news that is spreading as well. And US intelligence agencies, right, they are tapping into the medium. When I say medium, the social media platforms, just to stay informed of conversations across the world. so that they are aware of what kind of interactions are happening. Although it's not the content that is actually being undergone, it's use of the content that may surprise you in terms of with more than 800 million FB and Twitter seeing more than 400 million tweets sent across its service. You can imagine the kind of work that CIA surveillance team has to do, right? They have to filter out a lot of noise to in order to screen and find useful information, okay, which will be helpful in terms of doing proper investigation, so on and so forth. Likewise, it's a caution to all of us. We need to be watchful about saying that somebody else is watching us. So just be responsible on social media. That's all for today from the episode perspective. And folks, as always, in case if you came across any speaker that can add value to the guiding voice, or if you have any topic suggestions, just reach out to me on any social media platforms by searching for Naveen Samala. In case if you are watching it on YouTube, just feel free to leave your comments. Thank you so much for joining me. This is your host Naveen Samala, a fellow IT professional and a passionate learner on a mission to make difference in the lives of millions across the globe. Until next time, bye-bye.